Welcome to this Epicure tutorial. We'll navigate to the demo folder located within our Documents folder. Herosoft underbar rad1.csv is the file we'd like to open. Let's take a look at it. We see the first line is a variable list. ID is a sequential value, 1, 2, 3, up to 80,000. So there are 80,000 records in this file. The second variable is sex, and the third variable is city. We can see that each of these are coded as 1 or 2. As a convenience, let's save the path where this folder is located. Let's open Epicure and let's start a new session. Give it a name, and we need to select a module. There is AMFIT for Poisson regression, Peanuts for Cox regression, DayTab for creating person-year tables from individual records, and finally Gumbo and Pecan for logistic regression and case control studies. Let's use the Gumbo module. Epicure opens and displays two panels. Above in green is the log panel, below is the command panel, and at the bottom there's a command line where you can execute individual commands. Let's use the cd command to point Epicure to the folder where our demo file exists. We hit return. The command executes and is echoed in the command panel. The result of the execution is shown in the log panel. We'll use the useText command that reads the header information for the data file we'd like to read. This only reads the header. It does not load the data into Epicure. We see at the top right the names of the variables that were located in the header line of the file we just read. Now let's create some new variables using the transformation command. Here we'll create a new variable named death where ICD is less than 1000. If we'd like to create multiple variables at one time, we can open a transformation command in the command panel and write multiple definitions for new variables separated by the semicolon. The transformation command is closed using the ampersand symbol. The input command actually loads the data from the data file and applies the transformations that we've defined in the command panel. Note that 80,001 records were read, 80,000 of which were actually used as data. Let's change the city and sex variables into categorical variables using the levels command. Epicure interrogates the data and finds that there are two levels to each of these variables. Now let's find the mean of the dose. It's 117 milligray with a maximum of 3,720 milligray. Let's change this into gray by dividing by 1000. We can get the means by the categorical variables. Here we use sex. Categorical variables in the by statement can be nested. Now let's save the data. First as a CSV file. Note that the exclamation point is used as a comment. We use the data command followed by the CSV subcommand to indicate that we'd like to create a CSV file. We execute that, and if we look at that file, we see there's now a demo underbar CSV file with the variables that we were just using. Now let's save as the native BSF file format. We use the save command to perform this. And let's close our session and save it. Now, if we look in our demo folder, we see that there's a demo under our BSF file. If we open that file, we see that there are 80,000 records read. We see that sex and city have retained their categorical status. In addition, the death, male, female, and DGY variables that we defined previously are also saved. Other files were also created as a result of saving the session. The .gbo file retains the commands that we used. We could rerun our entire session by putting the cursor at the top and hitting Run from Cursor. Epicure recognizes that these files exist and we need to authorize it to overwrite. In addition to the GBO file, there's also a log file that shows all of the commands and the results of those commands. Epicure uses a number of file extensions. The .gbo extension is used for Gumbo, as we just saw. Peanuts, Datab, and Amphit all have their own file extensions, as well as log files. All of these files are text files and can be edited in any text editor. BSF files are binary data, and they retain all of the attributes of the data at the time it was saved. Please join us at herosoft.com, where you can get answers to the questions you have while using Epicure. Thank you.